Years back, when I was invited as a reviewer, I was so excited. I felt proud that finally I am at this stage. Truly speaking, I was not aware how to review the paper, what I have to check and what I have to not. I searched it on the internet, I watched the videos, and luckily I found one template, and according to this template, I reviewed this paper and submit my conclusion to the journal. Recalling these memories, I thought that I have to prepare one short course for all the new researchers to help them how to review the paper. So this video series will not help you how to review the paper, but it will also help you how to write the paper for review process. So after watching these videos, you will be able to exactly write the paper how the journal or how the reviewer wants. So this video series will help you to prepare the paper for journal, and this will probably increase the chances of acceptance. So let's start. What is a review? Actually, there are two types of review: pre-publication review and the post-publication review. In the post-publication review, the published papers are usually reviewed, and this is usually done for the thesis, for other research or proposal, etc. And the second one is the pre-publication review, which we take in this video series. And in the pre-publication review, so what is pre-publication review? First, check that when we submit paper to the journal, in what stages, in what process this paper goes on. When the authors conclude the writing of the paper, they submit the paper to the journal. This paper appeared on the editor dashboard. The editor primarily checks the paper for some checks, and if it passes these checks, the paper is assigned to some other associate editor. Associate editor is expert of this field. He also checked the paper for some primary checks, and if the paper don't follow these primary checks, for example, the paper doesn't have the novelty, paper doesn't follow the research and journal guidelines, the paper is just rejected. If the paper passes these checks, the paper is sent to the reviewers. So this is the stage where the reviewers are invited to review the paper, and this is the stage where the paper review process is delayed, because usually some reviewers give delayed responses in the case of accepting or rejecting the review process. So usually it is therefore advised, it is therefore suggested, when you have the invitation to review a paper, you have to give decision fairly and quickly, because if you delay your decision, this will delay the whole process. If you delay your decision for a day, this will be delayed for weeks. So when the reviewers accept this review, they review the paper. Usually 1 or half a month and a half is given to the reviewers. They review the paper, and once they finalize their recommendation, the same recommendation is submitted to the editor. Editor check these recommendation suggestions, and according to these recommendations, editor decide whether this paper should be accepted or rejected. In the case of acceptance, the paper is accepted in the current form, which rarely happens, or the paper is accepted with minor or major revision. In the case of minor or major revision, the paper is sent back to the authors to address the reviewers' suggestions and comments. So the authors address these comments and suggestions and submit back it to the associate editor. Editor once again check it, it's sent back to the reviewers. This may be the previous reviewer, or she may hire any new reviewers for the process. So this process goes on when the paper is finalized and it is accepted for publications. So after final acceptance, paper is sent to the productions, and in the productions the paper formatting is carried on. Paper is checked for its formatting, its images are checked, its tables are checked, especially its references are checked, that either it is matching the journal restriction or not. and after that paper is published. So the pre-publication, this was the pre-publication, how the paper is reviewed. The main theme was the paper review, pre-publication review. The review process may be in three categories. There may be three types. For example, this may be a single blind review, this may be a double blind review, or this may be an open review. In a single blind review, which is usually followed, the reviewers exactly know the author, that who is the author, exactly know the address of the author, because everything is given in the paper. But authors don't know that where is the paper, who is reviewing his paper. In the double blind, which is usually followed in the social studies, both parties, the authors and the reviewers, don't know about each other. Author don't know who is reviewing his paper, and reviewer don't know that whose paper is this. The third one is the open review, and in the open review, both the parties, the author and the reviewer, both exactly know each other, that who is the reviewer and who is the writing of the paper. So every category, every type, the single blind or double blind or open review, they have their own advantages and disadvantages. We will not discuss here that what are these advantages and what are the disadvantages, but these are the three formats which are usually followed, and according to that the paper is reviewed. So this was the first video in which we discussed that there are two types of reviews. The first one is the pre-publication and the second one is the post-publication. And in this was the case, the pre-publication is the case which we will take in this video series, that how the pre-publication is done. And we concluded the pre-publication process, that how the paper is submitted, how it is sent to the editors, associate editors, and after that it is sent to the reviewers, and in the case of accepting papers is sent to the productions. And the reviewing process especially is divided into three categories or three types of reviews: the single blind review, the double blind review, and the open review. So see you in the next video, and in the next video we will check that how we what the journal wants and how the paper is checked in the first glance.